I had to go to two Millwall games as a rehearsal process with the boys, you know, because we didn't have time to rehearse this. So it was about me going to a Millwall game. It was horrendous, I'm not going to lie. I'm quite a very famous West Ham fan.
Your freedom rests in your ability to pull yourself together over the next 6 weeks.
Dano, lager. Jackie boy?
I'll just have a pear juice.
Congratulations on the film. I found it funny but also sweet despite all the profanity that's around there.
Thank you.
For you, Dale, it's sort of a hard-hitting question. Like, you've had to pretend to be a Chelsea fan in The Football Factory, and now you have to pretend to be something different in this. So
it's never really, it's never really flagged what team it is. Actually,
I was wondering this last night.
I think it's Millwall.
It's like Championship.
That's
League
what I
One,
assumed.
I had to go to two Millwall games as a rehearsal process with the boys, you know, because we didn't have time to rehearse this. So it was about me going to a Millwall game. It was horrendous, I'm not going to lie. I'm quite a very famous West Ham fan. I mean, I was with the right people. No one really said anything to me because I was with the right firm. But, you know, that was... I still get stick for the Football Factory for playing a Chelsea fan. You know, even though I've got to feed me kids, unfortunately. So sometimes you've got to take a hit.
Yeah, you just need to go to Nick, be like, oh, let me just be a West Ham fan.
Nick being a huge Millwall fan, it's never going to happen.
But it's a miracle then you get along so well. You like fifth film together.
Yeah, but I feel that there is a connection there with me and him in a sense of, you know, and I've got quite a few Millwall mates actually. There's hatred between the two clubs, but for some reason, you know, I think when a West Ham fan and a Millwall fan teams up, magic happens.
For sure. And Stephanie, being an outsider looking into this creative partnership that's been going, this fifth film together, are they like an old married couple on set? Do they just bicker and get along well in the end?
Massively so. No, do you know what? It was like, I wish I could say something bad because it would be so juicy, but it was the nicest set to have been on. Like, I miss it. Like, even being here today, it's just brought it all back. I don't want to leave. Like, it was him and Nick together were just, it's just beautiful. Like, it trickled down through the whole cast and crew. You felt the love on set. And because the piece means something. Like, this really means a lot to Nick, and you felt that. And everyone was there because they wanted to be there. Nick calls in a lot of his friends. Nick knows everyone, by the way, doesn't he? I was astonished about it. Nick literally knows everyone. So, like, he had his friends, his family, and it's like, I think the heart.
Yeah, he's got his sister-in-law in it, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
And he always does that. He always throws people in it that they go who've never wanted to act, and it just sort of works because of the trust. But it's important what Stephanie's saying, that you set the tone as a director and as an actor. You know, if you've got a bit of clout, then just be kind and generous to everyone, and everyone enjoys yourself. Because I've been on many a set when that's not the case, and it's awful.
It's very true.
And talking of family connection, your son, he makes his debut in this. How's he as a scene partner? Did he pay attention? Take notes from you?
He was amazing.
He loved it because he didn't have school, so he had to do his tutoring.
But he was so professional. But also, he's just like effortlessly cool, that kid, because he didn't really care. He just
I was a bit worried about it because you know, it's a high pressure environment, and he'd never done it before. He never spoke about it before. He was just so excited about saying the C word, and that's the truth. And it's important he says it, and then people might find that, you know, look down their nose at the idea of that, but actually it's about a father who has took his eye off the ball a little bit, and his son sponging and learning stuff from his father that he probably shouldn't. So it's important that he's in it and it's there. I don't think I could have done this with someone else's child. The whole bit when I'm babysitting is all impro, me and Artie in a room, and Nick went, look, crack on. We both took our tops off, we're fighting, rolling around on the floor, throwing Haribo at each other.
You couldn't have done it like that with anyone else.
You couldn't. It would have been uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So it shows our bond in real life. I'm very close to my children. It's important. You know, my dad was a little bit rubbish, a bit masculine, and wasn't very cuddly, which is I always thought, well, I'm going to be the opposite to that. And so I cuddle my boy at all, you know, every opportunity, as I have with my daughters. So, and I think that hopefully this will touch a few men that might feel a bit guilty sitting in their seats, and will get emotional around that stuff with me and my son, you know? Yeah.
I love as well, it doesn't hide away from the fact, even if it's like a sort of spiritual sequel to Football Factory, it doesn't hide away from the fact that it's 20 odd years later, and he's dealing with different things in his life, and it's same as the relationship. Like, she still loves him, but she also calls him every name under the sun as well.
But that's through love. Like sometimes, you know, those words come out in love as well, you know. But she's flawed too. That's the other thing to remember is she's not a perfect individual. I mean, none of us are.
No.
And I think, you know, they're on the same team. You know, they're struggling through life as everybody does. But it's them against the world. It's not them against each other, and I think that was really important.
They've been together since they were kids, haven't they?
They're childhood sweethearts. They're like, and I think that's really important to remember. Is, you know, he's not just the arsehole dad, and she's the perfect woman.
No.
She's flawed too, and but they're both strong, and they're strong characters, and that's what I love. They're fiery and they're outrageous, and I think
they're outrageous, but she holds her own within this
She
very
does.
masculine film. You need that woman's voice. And it's perfect the way it's pitched, I think.
Yeah, mate, it's also fun to insult Danny as well.
Oh, so much fun.
Like, just chuck every
And I
name
do get
for
insulted
I had
quite a
some
bit
good
in this.
one-liners. I had a lot of like
best
thank you,
one-liners.
Nick.
There's one we
Yeah,
can't
they were
say
good.
here, but yeah.
There was one that I remember just thinking, oh man, my dad's going to watch that.
Ah, yeah, I think
You
I
know
know
what
the
I
one.
mean?
Yeah, it's in the trailer. It's at the end of the
it's in the
trailer. It's that one.
trailer.
Yeah. The o'clock.
Oh, well.
No, there's one even
No,
worse. I think anyway. Do you know what one I mean? Oh, maybe.
It's we lose
See,
track.
this-
Lose track of
yeah,
all-
see that's to me now is just mellow.
Yeah, but it has the word wanker, which I feel is a very British thing.
It's
You know,
a
you're
great
watching
word,
a British
isn't it?
film when
Yeah.
that particular swear is
It's
in it.
true.
And I was at the screening way back in October. I think it was an exhibitor screening that Nick was there, and he was talking about making this for an audience that isn't necessarily served within the British film industry, the working class audience. Is that important to both of you as well, that you're championing that audience?
It's for me. I'm a very working class kid who has done well for himself, and I've sort of took my kids out of a working class environment now, as I suppose that's what you do, is you want to give your kids everything you didn't have. I'm very proud of my roots and where I'm from, and it's important, especially now that the working class are represented. They seem to have been forgotten somewhat, and especially sort of white working class middle-aged man, you know, white van man, if you want to call it that, will be labelled many things, homophobic, racist, all these things. Actually, he's probably not. And I think it's important with Jack that he's none of them things. He's a twat when he, you know, and he gets it wrong a lot, but actually he's very smart, very switched on. He's got some addiction issues, but it's like working class relationship, talking like working class people do. Not all. I'm not saying that all use the C word and everything like that, but you know, it's quite common and it shouldn't be frowned at. It should be celebrated, and I think it's been a while since we've had a real, true, authentic working class film put out there. You know, Nick Love's a very important filmmaker, and you know,
It's been a long time coming from Nick, and I think
Proud to
there's
be
no
on-
one. He's very unique. He's no one does it the way he does it.
No, people have tried, they just can't quite nail it. So I think we're both proud to be part of this journey. You know.